You've probably fallen somewhere, hitting your head hard. Obviously, the height from which you fall is an important factor that can determine the potential for injury. In fact, if you fall from a height of 60 meters or more, you reach terminal velocity for humans, which is around 200 kilometers per hour. This means that above 60 meters, height no longer matters. You could fall from 500 meters and your speed would still be 200 kilometers per hour due to air resistance. But even so, some people have survived. Now, at what exact height is there no way to survive? Today, we're going to go level by level from a simple stumble to a fall impossible to survive, always under the best possible conditions: relaxed body, good posture, and optimal cushioning. This video is purely informative and has a scientific approach. It doesn't seek to glorify or encourage dangerous behavior, only to explore our limits. Level 1, 0.5 meters. This can happen from a stumble on your knee. Falling from half a meter sounds ridiculous, but it's the kind of fall we've all had. You trip over a bed leg or a poorly placed step. The consequences: a scrape, a nervous giggle, or a direct hit to the shin that makes you see stars. At this height, your body barely generates any kinetic energy. It's like dropping a tennis ball. It bounces, but doesn't break. Level 2, 1 meter. 1 meter starts to hurt. It's like standing on a chair and being thrown off. In healthy adults, it's still tolerable, but if you fall sideways, you can fracture a wrist or elbow. In older adults, the risk skyrockets. A fall from this height can cause a hip fracture or a serious head injury. Here, one thing becomes clear. The position when falling matters more than the height. Level 3, 2 meters. From here, falls are felt in the bones. Imagine standing on a refrigerator and letting yourself fall. There's a real risk of ankle, rib, and even pelvic fractures if you don't cushion the fall properly. You can still survive perfectly well, but you'll regret not warming up beforehand. Interestingly, in several sports like parkour and free running, 2 meters is the standard practice height. Athletes learn to fall by rolling to dissipate energy. Level 4, 3 meters. From here, the body no longer absorbs the impact as well. Internal injuries become common, ranging from pulmonary contusions to minor abdominal bleeding. If you fall on your back, you can damage your spine. Many workplace accidents occur right at this height. People fall from ladders or medium-sized structures. Level 5, 5 meters. If you've ever climbed a tree or a rooftop to retrieve a ball, this is your level. From 5 meters, even with a controlled fall, there's a real risk of vertebral fractures, broken ribs, and brain injuries if you hit your head. In fact, in several trauma studies, this height marks the transition between moderate and potentially fatal injuries. Surviving, yes, but unscathed, unlikely. Level 6, 10 meters. Now we're entering serious territory. Falling from 10 meters, your body impacts at about 50 kilometers per hour. It's like crashing into a concrete wall on a bicycle without a helmet, impacting your entire body. The types of injuries include multiple limb fractures, chest damage, liver injuries, and even splenic rupture. There are cases of survival, but almost always with permanent loss of mobility or multiple surgeries. Level 7, 15 meters. Here, most statistics already point to mortality. If you land badly on your head or back, it's very unlikely you'll survive. If you land on your feet, you might, but your legs behave like collapsing columns. The femur can fracture and push the pelvis towards your vital organs. Estimated impact, 65 kilometers per hour. Level 8, 25 meters. This would be like being on top of an 8-story building. From this height, the body impacts at almost 80 kilometers per hour. There's total collapse of the thoracic system, rupture of major blood vessels, and brain damage from sudden deceleration. In trauma medicine, this is considered a lethal height where only very exceptional cases occur and always with immediate intervention. Level 9, 45 meters. Here, survival depends entirely on the environment. There are only cases of survival when the fall is broken by branches, deep snow, or dense mud. For example, in Canada, a skier fell 40 meters down a ravine and survived because he landed on a completely loose and slushy bank of fresh snow. Level 10, 60 meters. Here, you reach terminal velocity. You no longer accelerate. Your body falls at a constant speed, and what changes is the time of the fall, not the intensity of the impact. It no longer matters if you fall from 60 meters or from a skyscraper. The impact will be the same. The only thing that can save you is terrain that absorbs the energy gradually. As I said, branches, snow, a giant cushion, or a mound of loose earth. There's a case of a person who fell from over 10,000 meters, the case of Vesna Vulovic. In 1972, Vesna, a Serbian flight attendant, was the sole survivor of an in-flight explosion. She fell over 10,000 meters inside the fuselage of the plane onto a snowy hillside. Her body was unconscious, which helped prevent it from tense up upon impact. She suffered multiple fractures, but she survived perfectly. It's not a level, it's a miracle. So from what height can you fall without dying? With luck, technique, and ideal conditions, up to 20 or even 30 meters might be possible. But most of the time, your body doesn't forgive mistakes greater than 10 meters. Remember, I'm not romanticizing or promoting any kind of risky behavior. Science studies the limits of the body, but it also seeks to protect them. And you, from what height have you fallen? I'll read your comments. Subscribe.